പുഴയിൽ വെള്ളം പോകുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്നറിയാമോ കൊച്ചിന്? പുഴയുടെ ദാഹം കൂടുന്നതാണ്. ആളുകളുടെ ചോര വേണം പുഴയ്ക്ക് ദാഹം മാറ്റാൻ.
Hi all, this is Silesh Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be talking about the film Paka, River of Blood, which had its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival recently. It's a fantastic story, family saga, there's a bit of Mahabharata, there's a bit of Romeo and Juliet. We're going to be joined by writer-director Nithin Lukose. This is his first film, fantastic. And actors Basil Poulos, who plays Johny, and Vinitha Koshi, who plays Anna. Nithin, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in filmmaking, and then Paka the movie. What is it about?
I'm from Kerala and I went to film school, Film Institute India,
Right.
FTI. Then I almost worked on 20-25 films as a sound designer.
Wow.
And working for the industry for some long time. And I always wanted to make my own film. So when I was thinking about making my own film, I went back to my roots.
So where are those roots? Where are we talking about?
This is in Wayanad. Wayanad is a district. It's a hill station. It's a district in Kerala.
Okay.
So Basil is also from Wayanad. So
Right.
we used to know each other from some time back, like almost 10-15 years back.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't know. I felt I should make my first film from my place where I am from. I started Paka from my memories, which I had about my space, and the first element which came to my mind when I was, trying to find a unique element in my space is the river where a lot of people have died in the past, and still people are dying.
Right.
And there is a man who can retrieve the dead bodies. Those are the two elements which was actually I started writing the film.
Anurag Kashyap is one of the producers behind this film. How did you get him on board? He's obviously a very famous name in Indian cinema.
I know Anurag from Bombay. I was working as a sound designer.
I see, yeah.
And I showed Anurag the film just after the rough cut of the film. Because I wanted to get some feedback from Anurag.
Sure, yeah.
He watched the film, then he asked me what is the plan with it, and he gave me a lot of editing points, and we reshot the film a little bit in some sequences.
Right.
Some edit changes, and gradually with that discussion, he was always with the film through the post production, and then he came on board as a producer.
Wow. Vinitha, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this film and your character Anna.
Actually, I'm a pediatric counselor by profession.
Wow, okay, right.
So, I came into movies very unexpectedly. I started a YouTube channel of my own,
Right.
and I was just scripting small things and was acting.
Wow.
And from there, I got a call from a director. And like that, my entry in Malayalam movie industry was very unexpected.
Okay.
And I have done few Malayalam movies itself, and I've got a state award for one of my movie.
Congratulations.
And Paka is my latest movie. About Anna, she's a strong woman, and she is very confident about her love, the emotion of love. And in the movie itself, you can understand that she is giving strength and courage to Johny. And this character is getting vulnerable at some times.
The most challenging thing for me was the emotional journey of that character.
Right.
So if you look at Johny is the most detached person in that whole scenario of how the storytelling goes. And then it was very important for me to bring that balance. I should be part of the movie, but also stay away from the whole revenge sequence.
Yeah.
Possibly, if you look at it, Johny couldn't take it anymore. And that's why Johny wants to end it. He wants to have a life, and he's very quiet. He doesn't have the confidence like others. He's got childhood issues.
Some people, and I think this would be possibly a view that would be prevalent in Kerala. He's not macho enough, or he's not enough of a man.
My challenge was that to play it subtle.
Yeah.
Like play like a guy who's very scared of everything. And the character was like playing it really down, and then so detached. Like when everybody is out in the river, he's away. He's got his own thoughts. For me, that emotional journey of that character was very taxing, right? like when everybody is having fun, I can't have fun. My thoughts, like there is a dream that haunts me. There are a lot of my baggages I'm carrying. So I'm even though I am in a certain age group, but I carry the burden of somebody who's of my father's age in the movie.
The family dynamic in this particular story is really interesting, and you've got the kind of the slight Romeo and Juliet aspect of it. I mean, the on-screen chemistry is very good, but it's very understated. It's very subtle. There's no great romantic or there are no real love scenes in this, but there is obviously a strong connection, a strong bond, and both of them know how difficult and problematic their relationship is.
My first question when it came to the relationship side of Johny and Anna was that I asked him how much of romantic people are there. So Nithin's brief was that they know each other for a long time from childhood. They go to the same church, they hang out, they meet. But in a town like that, hanging out together, going for a date, all those things are very difficult. So which they started doing it like once they've grown up and once they are much older. Right. So there is a certainty between about their relationship. They're very sure about each other, and so that's why you see it very, very not overwhelming. You don't have to look after each other in that kind of sense. There is not too much of cribbing. There's not too much of relationship hassles.
And yet there is a love story there, and it's very powerful within the context of the film and what is happening between the two families. The film starts really around the guy who goes to collect the bodies from the river, and the first few minutes I was thinking, is it a film about this guy and his life? But it actually turns quite quickly into the whole family saga and the love story and all that. So, and this is very much rooted in stories in Wayanad, in that place you call home, really.
Yeah, many of this was happened in the past during the migration when my grandparents have migrated from South Kerala to North Kerala.
Right.
Even my grandmother used to tell a lot of stories.
Right.
And usually grandmothers tell a lot of sweet stories, but she used to tell me a lot of revenge stories.
And she's actually in the film. That's what I found amazing when I was looking at some of the stuff. Did you have that idea in mind from the beginning?
We had that, yeah. Exactly, because I wanted her to act, and Pachi, her grandson, he's my cousin. Like he's the youngest grandson of my grandma.
എൻ്റെ അപ്പനപ്പൂപ്പന്മാരുടെയാ ശത്രുക്കളാ ചുറ്റിലും.
I mean, it's my relationship with my grandmother. So I was telling Basil also when I was writing the first draft of the screenplay that I wanted to cast her, and I don't want to show her in the film.
She was the one who never had that first day issues.
Right.
No, she was straight into the character, and then she was not shown, but she was performing with us.
Yeah, I mean, you get great performances, and a lot of the actors are non-professionals, Nithin. So how did that work? Can you talk a little bit about that?
The actors like Vinitha, Basil, Nithin, and Abhilash, they are the only actors who acted in films before.
Right.
But they were really helping to, collaborate with the other actors and helping them how to act.
For me, the challenging part was that the whole movie was shot in their hometown, right?
Yeah,
so most of the cast and crew was from that area. Even Basil also lived there. So for me, being an outsider, it was really difficult for me to get the character. But it was a really nice process, and within few days I got adjusted.
How did it feel to be selected for TIFF for Toronto?
Before the announcement, he called me. Then he told maybe we will have a surprise. Then I was thinking maybe some festivals, but I didn't even think it's TIFF because it's a lifetime achievement, right? Yeah, was so surprised and was so happy. The only disappointment is that we didn't get a chance to go there because of this situation.
And Basil, what did you think?
For me, that film is very personal because it's shot in my hometown, and I stayed there. I was hanging out with these people. I was living a life, even when I'm not shooting, I was living that life. So this is very, very how do you say it? Very, very homegrown film, right? And then suddenly this film is in TIFF. So that story from my town has been showcased to the world. For me, that's the kind of platform. I thought it was brilliant. It was brilliant to tell our story in a very interesting way.
അടുത്ത ചൂട് ഇന്ത്യ.
When are people in India going to be able to see this film? Are you going to be showing it at other film festivals? What's the plan?
We have some other festival plans after TIFF. We got some invitations and we are waiting for them to
Right.
announce it.
Why do you want people to watch this film?
This film is the story of people. Like you can relate, like at least some bit of some character to yourself. It's also going back to your roots in some form. It also talks about the animalistic side of human beings, and then actually for me, this film kind of explore the question of whose revenge is it, right? Like whose revenge is it? And then for me as a character also, that question was prevailing. Like, is it my revenge? Is it my family's revenge? Is it my grandmother's revenge? Right. Is it someone else's revenge? So it also and I think it's a very interesting. I love Nithin's why I enjoyed the script was like, I like the way he's treating his characters. I like the way he told the story. It could have been any other cinema.
Why do you think filmmaking is so strong in Kerala right now? What's making it? There are a lot of films coming out of Kerala that are beginning to get appreciated around the world.
That happens to many film industries in different times. I think once Marathi film was 4-5 years back, Marathi cinema was doing good. I think Tamil cinema was doing good.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's a time and sensibility. I think the cinema literacy of Kerala is much better.
Yeah.
I think so. Being from Kerala myself, I think, and the films that are coming out, I think there is a certain amount intelligence there which is helping, and really even commercial Malayalam cinema is much, I think, is on another level as well, and it's not silly.
I agree.
There's not silly stories and something like some unbelievable stories. It's all very rooted in kind of a realism. Sometimes you can have that kind of masala sort of grandiose, which
entertainment.
For that, and I get
think
that.
we managed to make at least 2 to 3 good films a year.
Right. Oh, I think it's more than that.
More than that. I think people are open. Even the audience are very open to exploring new ideas, and people love it. People talk about it, and also now, like to answer your question, now I think a lot of people are watching it because of the OTT and a lot of online platforms. Like we are getting a much larger audience.
Now it's not anymore a regional cinema. It's about a global cinema, right? I think that's what OTT has done.
Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. I was honored to speak to you, and it's been a real pleasure, and I hope that we'll get a chance to speak again when you're in other films and Nithin's next film. So thank you all, and all the best with Paka. Thank you.
Great talking to you. Thank you so much.